Hey everybody, Chef Britt here with allthingsbbq.com, and today we're doing something keto friendly, stuffed poblano peppers. All right, so when you think of stuffed peppers, a lot of the times it's a ground beef and maybe rice mixture and a bell pepper. Well, we're gonna go a little more south with some Mexican flavors, and we're gonna keep it pretty healthy and just do vegetables and meat. And we're gonna show you some great flavors along the way. So let's get started. In my Lodge cast iron skillet here, I've got a pound of ground turkey, and to that I'm going to add 1/8 of a cup of this carne asada seasoning from Cattleman's Grill. There's great heat level, there's some great Mexican spices. Now granted, you can use any kind of ground meat that you prefer. I'm just using turkey today, about an 85-15 ratio. All right, and to get things fired up, we're gonna be using the Yoder Smokers YS640S Pellet Grill. All right, notice I've got the 2-door diffuser plate with the door off, and I have the temperature set to 400 degrees, and that's going to keep the pellets flowing and the fire going. I've also taken out the second shelf so that I have ease of access to my pan. All right, so I'm just gonna break it up a little bit to get things going, and just to get the heat really going, I'm gonna close the lid. So we're starting to get some browning. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of continue breaking everything up and getting it all articulated. No large, significant chunks, and really get that seasoning dispersed throughout. All right, I'm using a slotted spoon. I'm gonna remove the browned meat, and we're gonna leave the juices in the pan to cook our zucchini that we're going to be adding. Now you can use any sort of keto-friendly vegetable you want. If you like, let's say you wanna do mushrooms, or you wanna do kale. What's important is that you're gonna wanna cook out some of the moisture. So I'm gonna get these sort of diced up here. We'll just do a nice sort of smaller dice. And you want just about a cup's worth in the end. All right, now this isn't gonna take long. We're just looking to get a little bit of moisture out and maybe even a little browning. All right, we're sizzling a little bit here. What's nice is the zucchini is gonna release some of their moisture, but it's also going to start picking up all of those pan drippings, so any sort of meaty flavor and leftover spices will start to stick and get picked up by the zucchini. All right, and I'm just gonna add that right into my meat mixture. And we're gonna allow this to cool a little bit before we add some of our other ingredients. So in the meantime, I'll show you how we'll prep the poblanos. So I've got some poblanos here, and one thing to note, I made a point to get larger ones, specifically because the smaller ones tend to kind of fold in on themselves, and you kind of want to avoid that if you want to pack them full. What I'm going to do is just slice them straight down the middle. You can take that stem off if you want. All right, and the next thing that you might want to do is just take out this seed pod. So you can either kind of cut that out, or you can rip it out. And you can save those seeds if you like it spicy, but I feel like I'm gonna get enough spice with all of the other ingredients that I'm adding, so I'm gonna go ahead and just remove all of them. And then you might, if you notice that this is pretty thick and fibrous, you can just kind of come through and clean that up a little bit. But that's a personal preference. All right, and then I'm just gonna get these set up onto a lined sheet pan here. All right, now to finish up the mix, we're gonna add a little bit moisture back into everything. We're gonna add about a cup of this quesadilla cheese and about 1/3 of a cup of the 505 Hatch chili mixture. And that's gonna bring a good amount of heat into the mix as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my hands all up in there. This is looking great. Feels nice and moist. And now I'm just gonna pack up the poblanos. Get a nice good handful. I'd say there's about 2/3 of a cup of filling in there. And you can kind of pack it higher if you have less poblanos to work with. And then I'm gonna just follow up with some gratuitous cheese on top here. This is gonna help seal in the moisture and also be a good indicator for when everything's hot all the way through. All right, so we're gonna bake these off on the Yoder Smokers YS640S. I went ahead and put the diffuser door back in place and put the second upper shelf back inside, and I lowered the temperature to 350. All right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and bake these on the lower shelf on this side over here. So we're gonna let those bake for about 35 to 40 minutes. One thing to note, we've got a lot of heat happening between the Hatch chili blend, the carne asada seasoning, and the poblanos themselves. So I'm gonna make a cooling sauce with some sour cream and cilantro. Super easy, and it blends all nicely together. So I'm gonna get about 3/4 of a cup of some cilantro, just kind of rough chop. I'm not really worried about stems or anything like that. I'll get that in there. And then I've got a cup of sour cream going right on top, and we'll just blend it all up. All right, now you can go as smooth as you like. I think I'm right there for myself. That's going to be the best sort of sauce to go with everything. It's gonna help just cool everything down and give another level of flavor with the herbiness from the cilantro. All right, so it's been about 40 minutes total. Let's give them a look. All right, so I can hear it kind of bubbling, and all of the cheese has really browned. That's been sitting on the pan themselves, and the poblanos have softened up, so I think we're good to go. So to plate this up, I'm gonna get a little bit of my cilantro crema down here. I'll get it nice, spread out. It's gonna look beautiful like this. Let's put this guy. Just put that right on top. A little extra cilantro for some garnish. Beautiful. All right, so let's just cut in here. The poblano should be easy to kind of cut through, but still have just a little bit of texture, which will be nice. And it's definitely a fork and knife situation. I'm happy to scoop up lots of this crema to go on top. Let's get a big bite. Wow. That's awesome. You know, I don't really have like a huge tolerance for heat, but the heat on this is just rolling really nicely. There's tons of flavor coming from that carne asada, the Hatch chili, the cilantro, and the sour cream kind of just levels it all out. I would be so happy to eat this anytime during the week. And what an easy way to put it all together. Right on. Well, I had a lot of fun showing you guys how to make this. If you guys happen to make it, maybe put in your own sort of customizations with different meat, different vegetables, let us know down in the comments below. And if you haven't already subscribed, feel free to click that bell. And if you want to check out the full recipe, click the link below in the description and head over to allthingsbbq.com to see all of the flavors and products we use today. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.